Yeah, please go ahead and start.
Okay, cool. So, hi everyone. Good evening and welcome to Automation Vidyalaya. So, this is one of the first initiatives of our Kolkata UiPath chapter. Like, the reason for having this session is twofold. We basically try to make sure that the peers amongst us who are not aware of RP as a technology, right? They are made aware of what RPA as a technology is. Reason is that it is one of the booming career choice for people in the IT industry. Here we have UiPath as the choice of the tool, given that it's the leader in the RPA space, a pioneer in its achievements. So we are people, we are professionals from different IT companies who have come together in this journey to assist you, the audience, into your UiPath journey. Now, what the target of this session is that we make you familiar with what UiPath capabilities are, what RPA as a technology holds for you in the future, and is it like we leave the decision up to you, but whether it's even a career choice you would like to go on. The target audience for this group is mostly people who are still yet to graduate and yet looking for a job, right? So I think RPA would be one of the perfect technologies to start for, given that it's in the automation space. And as we move forward ahead into the future, automation is something that is definitely a future-proof tech stack. So I am Ved. I'm the moderator for this session. I come from Deloitte as a consultant in the RPA space. I have my dear friend and colleague Madhav from Deloitte as well, who is going to be the speaker. So over to you, Madhav, for the session. Have a great session.
Hey, thank you, Ved, for the great introduction. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So today, my main concern is will this thing familiarize all of you with UiPath Studio. Okay. So I am confident that you will find this session like more informative and also that enjoyable session. So if you have any questions in the middle of the session, just feel free to add your query in the chat box or raise your hand. And no worries, in the end of the session also there will be a detailed Q&A will be there. So we'll be happy to answer all your queries. Okay, so before I present my screen, so I will hand over to Apurva because yesterday some of the people actually, I also all of the people at this thing here, they have installed UiPath Studio. Can you please answer this thing in the chat box? You all have installed UiPath Studio is installed in your machine. Okay, so I got some of the answers, but I think all of the people are not installed. So and yesterday Apurva was stuck with this machine. So first, this thing initially he will maybe share his screen and show you how to install the UiPath Studio, and after that I'll start again and show you UiPath capabilities and all the studio how it looks like. So over to you, Apurva.
Thank you so much, Harmeet, Ved, and Santan. So let me present my screen and just to show you how to install UiPath Studio. And I would request all of you so that you can also go with my steps so that you can also download and install UiPath Studio successfully. So with that note, I am presenting my screen. Is my
Before
screen
that, there's
visible?
a
Yeah.
Yeah, Apurva, there's a question in the chat box whether the audience can record the session, Harmeet. Apurva.
So this session is recorded by UiPath itself, and once this session will be finished, so we will be uploading that video into that event page from where you are currently joined in. So you will be finding the video over there. So no worry, you can. But if
Yeah,
you have anything, so you can just record. But don't worry about these things. So you will be having a recorded video on that same
I think
page.
that answers your question, Krishnendu. Yeah, Apurva, please go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, we need to select one browser. For me, I am having Chrome, so I am going to going with Chrome. So here we need to just write cloud.uipath.com. Okay, so here you can see cloud.uipath.com is the portal. So where we just need to go with. So now it will be asking us to log in with any account. So I will be going with Google. Okay, so this is the account I have currently. Students and anyone who hasn't installed UiPath as of now, please follow the steps and please let me know if I need to go slow. Up to this part, all done, everyone? Okay, assuming you are going with my space, and if needed, so please let me know. I'll just hold. Okay, now once we are logged in, so we need to create an organization. Okay, so here they have got my full name. I need to select my country. Now I need to select my state. Okay, so I guess all of you have selected your country and your state. Now we need to click on next. So now you need to put an organization name. So for me, let's suppose I am giving a name like Automation Express again, because we have given that name yesterday as well. Okay, up to this part, all done, everyone? You can use the chat box if you want to say anything, or you can just unmute yourself and say. Done. Up to this part, I am assuming we are all done. So now we need to just click on create organization. So now we will be landed on this page of Automation Cloud. Okay, so here we need to click on the download button. If you see my cursor over here, we need to click on download option. And we need to download it. So just to reduce the time, I have already downloaded. So you will be finding this type of logo once you will download it. Okay, and this is the UiPath Studio Community exe file you need to go with. Okay, so I am canceling because I have already downloaded. Should I wait for some time, or I just start with the installation?
I think it's a big file, Apurva. If you
Yeah.
have already installed it, let's go with it. The
Okay.
session would be recorded, and I think UiPath has it well documented.
Sure.
So I
Sure.
think they'll be able to download it
Sure.
later also.
Okay, so we'll be having this package. So now let us install it.
Yeah, meanwhile, while you're downloading, right, I do have a question, Apurva, myself.
Yeah.
I think it could be great for all the audience as well. Like while installing like signing up in the UiPath cloud, right, you added an organization detail.
Yeah.
Any reason for adding that organization detail particularly?
Sure. So once you will be adding one organization, so in UiPath Automation Cloud, you will be having your admin panel. Okay. So here, what the organization you will be adding inside that organization, you will be creating everything. So let's suppose once you are connecting to UiPath Orchestrator and UiPath Automation Cloud itself. So the thing is your every job what you will be doing with UiPath Studio once it will be connected to Automation Cloud. So then all the jobs will be recorded, all the jobs, all the package process, everything will be recorded in your organization only. Okay, so in that manner we need to create an organization. And inside that organization we'll be having tenant. So this will be a bit of deeper part, we will not go through it, but just for understanding as of now, you need to create an organization. Okay, just for the sake of knowledge to start with our basic things. Is that answer, Ved?
Yes, that answers. Anyone has any question with regards to this, please feel free to ask. You can go ahead, unmute yourself and ask the question, no issues. Okay. Okay, so we have a question from Krishna. Would it be a .msi file or .exe file?
Okay, so let us check over here. So just to show you properly. Okay, you can just see it's .msi file. Is it visible?
Yeah, Apurva.
Okay, fine.
It's visible.
Let
Guys,
me
let's
just
make this session interactive. Like there's no point if we are just on mute and the speaker is just speaking. So let's make it interactive as much as possible. If you have any question, does not have to make any sense because we also started knowing nothing. So it's okay if you are asking questions which does not make sense to you right at this moment. But I can promise you that it would be beneficial for the others as well.
yeah, sure. So if we just go with this setup, so we will be just going with the quick one that is recommended for community user. And this question was asked yesterday, that why we are not going with the second one, that is custom. For this one, we need an enterprise license. That's why we will not be going with this one. Rather, we will be going with the community user option. That's why, because this community user option is free. Okay, but for license, we need to pay something. Okay, so now we are just selecting this quick one, and I need to click on this accept button. I need to click on the install button now. It will take around 4 minutes. So meanwhile, we can discuss anything.
If anyone
Can I
has
ask
any question?
one question?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, is there any differences between community edition and enterprise edition? I know it's
Yes,
enterprise
yes,
is license version, of course.
yes, yes. So for community edition, it is free of cost. Okay, but for licensed version, you need to pay cost. Okay, so that is the difference. And there is some more, like in enterprise edition, you will be having some more functionalities than the community edition, but most of the functionalities are there with the free version of community. So the basic difference is the payment options.
Like the reason, like I would just like to add one point to it. Like there can be a question that if everything is available for free, why would one pay for it, right? So as a community user, the studio or UiPath's ecosystem, right, it's used just for learning. So the moment you try to implement those on an enterprise level, enterprise as in you can think it as a professional level, the things like security and stuff comes into the picture. So UiPath provides all those securities and enhanced features, more what to say, more complex or more advanced features of it to people who are paying the enterprise, like paying the amount and getting that enterprise license. So that's the main reason for taking an enterprise license, other than like on addition to what Apurva had to say.
Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you.
Anyone has any more questions, please go ahead. Like for the time being, this is getting installed right after yesterday's session also, since Apurva is already there. If anyone has any queries or thoughts with respect to yesterday's session, we are happy to take those as well.
Guys, if you have any question, any doubt, so we can just take that up.
There's a
So
question on the chat box from Anuprita. Do we need to do any setting after installation? So Apurva will be showing it once this gets downloaded successfully, right? There are few straightforward steps. which you can do, but Apurva will anyways recreate those things for you to follow.
Yeah. So
But if you
now,
have, yeah,
sorry,
Apurva.
Ved. Yeah, please carry on. Then I'll go.
Yes. So in case you have it already downloaded, guys, and the pop-up which is coming on your screen is very straightforward. Okay, it asks you to just go to the next and give yes, yes, yes. You can go ahead and install it. But just to be on the safer side, I would request everyone to just hold off for a couple of minutes till this is done, so that we are not missing out on any components to be added into the UiPath Studio. Yeah, Apurva, please go
Yeah.
ahead now.
So now this is going to be installed. So meanwhile, we'll be receiving some pop-ups just to add some extensions, like the extensions for Excel, the extension for Chrome. So now if you see, so we have opened Chrome. So I have already opened it just to show you that if any basic extension like Excel or Chrome, which will be installed during the installation of UiPath Community Edition, so it will be giving us a pop-up just to close that. Okay, so I am just keeping the Chrome window open just to have that pop-up, and you would get to know that how it will be installed and what the extension it is adding. So the basic extension will be Chrome and Excel.
I think there was a good question in the chat box that Soham has asked what to choose, UiPath Studio or Studio X, and Pradyuman has already answered it, Studio. But Pradyuman, would you like to just take up why? What is Studio and Studio X? Just a very brief, because anyways, Madhav would be explaining those, I believe. But just to keep it not on a hanging note for everyone.
Sure. Are you able to hear me, Ved?
Yeah, I can hear and see you both.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Before I start answering that question, just for everyone to know, my name is Pradyuman Kumar, and I'm working with EY GDS since last 1 year. But my overall experience is 6 years now, and I have been working as a RPA developer for more than 4 years now. So coming back to the question, what is the difference between Studio and Studio X profile? So like you would have seen on that window itself, these two are the profiles which are provided to us by the UiPath software. Okay, so talking about the first profile, Studio, it is basically for the developers. Okay, it is for the developers. And the second one, the Studio X, you can say, is for the business users who have very minimal coding skills. Okay, so in short, for now, what you guys can understand is Studio X is for business users or people with very less coding skills or no coding skills, while Studio is for professional developers with programming background. Is that fine for now?
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Pradyuman.
And one more question, you guys had asked earlier, do we need any settings change after installation or during installation? So you can see, guys, on your system, Purva has got a pop-up asking to install UiPath extension. Okay,
Yeah.
so during this installation process, you will get couple of pop-ups like these, which asks you to install UiPath extension for Chrome and maybe Microsoft Edge as well if you have Edge installed. And you might also get pop-up to install your Excel
Excel.
add-ins.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so just click OK for those and relax. It's nothing serious. You just click OK and let let these things get installed. It's a normal part of the software. So just
Yeah.
wanted to tell you, just click OK and follow the normal process, and that should be fine.
Yeah.
And let us know if you have any more doubts.
Okay, guys, so the thing is, if you just see this pop-up, it is wanting to install the extension for Chrome, right? So now we have the Chrome open. So just to install the Chrome extension as well in this go only. So I am just clicking on OK. Okay, so it will force close the Chrome. Okay, so it is again saying that would you want to force close this one? So I would like to do that. So that's why I'm clicking on OK. So if you see here, the Chrome has been closed. Okay, so now it will be going to install the proper software.
Apurva, is it
Yeah.
fine? Like if someone has already got it installed and the pop-up is already open on their screen, you just direct that person and we have it recorded, because the other session is also pending. So if it's okay, we can do it that way, because this will take some time, it seems.
No, so we have all done. So it will be completed now, if you see.
Okay.
So I haven't done anything. So it would take 4 minutes for me with the SSD. Okay. So now we can
Okay.
just see that the completion of that UiPath installation has been done. So it is showing now. I need to launch Studio. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to click on this. I would take just 1.5 minutes now. Okay, so once you will be clicking on Launch Studio, so you will be having this interface, and this is the service URL. And if you saw earlier, so we are doing these things with cloud.uipath.com, that is already mentioned over here. You just need to click on sign in. Okay, so here it is showing that open UiPath. Yeah, so you can see that I am already signed in now. Okay, so here they are asking me I should go with Studio X or Studio. So as Pradhuman also mentioned, so as a basic level of developer, or the people who are having technology background or having technical knowledge, so those people need to go with Studio to become a UiPath developer. So I will click on the Studio X, sorry, the UiPath Studio one. Yeah, we have all done. Okay, so you can see here the first time it will be having some pop-up, like if you watch some video over there in tutorial, or you need to go to academy, you need to explore these options. But for me, I am clicking on don't say again, and I'm closing this. And this is the thing now. I'm closing this one. And if you see these things, you will be having this interface as the very first time whenever you will be installing UiPath Studio. Now we have all done, guys. If you have any question or any queries, so you can ask in the chat box. And now I would like to hand over this session to Ved and Madhav. Ved and Madhav, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Apurva. Madhav, I think
Uh,
you can start sharing your screen.
yeah, sure.
Meanwhile,
And
Thank you,
guys,
Apurva. Yeah.
yeah, just a second. I can see one question on the chat box related to settings to choose Studio X and Studio After. No, nothing specific to be chosen, Ajit. This was the question. So nothing, no specific settings to be chosen while installing. Just click on next and you should be done. Just click on OK and whatever pop-up you are getting, and that should be done. One more thing, in case you guys were not able to follow up at this moment while installing Studio, so don't worry. First of all, this session is being recorded, and second thing is I am also pasting a couple of YouTube links which you can also follow for installing or reinstalling Studio. Meanwhile, Madhav will be starting with the session. Don't worry, it's just the basics of UiPath Studio, and he'll be just opening UiPath Studio and sharing some interface basics, what you will see on the screen after you install it. And for the people who are still trying to install it, do let us know in chat. We'll not be covering it like directly in this session, but yes, I'll be interacting with you via chat, and obviously in the backend you can also watch YouTube if necessary.
Hi Pradyum, now this is Ajit here. One last
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
See, my question is, if I already installed UiPath, okay, so I
Mm-hmm.
installed Studio X. I need to change it to Studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can see from the YouTube, we can change, we can use both Studio X and Studio parallelly, right? For document purpose, we can use Studio X and Studio. So is there any
Only
chance
if
to use in community version?
yes, so those two are basically the profiles, and community version does allow you both Studio X and Studio profiles. The only thing is that it depends upon the license. So to answer this question specifically, I'll need to go one level deeper. So basically what happens is when you install community edition, okay, so you will get let's say only one robot license for now. Okay, there is something called robot, and for that a license is required. So let's say you will get only one robot license with community edition, which you can use on your system. Okay, but but if your but depending upon your cloud account, okay, it should be showing you the free license on your homepage. So Apurva had showed you cloud.uipath.com website, right? So on that website, you go to there is an admin section. Maybe Apurva, if you could share your screen and just show me the show Ajit that section of
Pradam,
cloud.uipath.com.
just one suggestion. So can we take these
Mhm.
questions later, because Madhav need to deliver these things. So in the Q&A
Sure.
section, we can do that.
Sure. So yeah, Ajit, so in that case, what I can suggest you is that is possible. So you can change to studio as well. It just require license, and that should be possible for you if everything is normal. And meanwhile, let Madhav start the session, and at the end we'll have a Q&A where we'll try to answer your questions specifically as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Apurva. Thank you, Vidhuman, and thank you, Ved, for all of your inputs. Let me present my screen. Please let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, perfect. Just a second. So yeah, so from the topic, I think you can I don't understand, right? So today our topic is like familiarization with UiPath Studio. So familiarization means, so today I will describe you how, why we use the UiPath Studio, what is the capability inside the UiPath Studio, and why we use the UiPath Studio. Because in the market there are a lot of RPA tools are there, correct? So with the UiPath Studio, we can create like both simple and complex, both different type of automations. And this thing, it's like it's the user interface. It's like very simple. We can visually drag and drop any activity. Then I can show you later. And this is like the robot platform, and inside that UiPath Studio, we can easily drag and drop with all that things. We can like fill the forms, interacting with different type of applications. So the main thing is using the UiPath Studio, we will interact the different type of applications. While do the automation, we will interact with the different type of automations, different type of applications. So different type of applications means the Windows applications, web-based application, mainframe application, and also for the complex case, we can build that custom package using like different type of C# activity, different type of C# code. We can invoke JavaScript. So that thing, we can do everything using the UiPath Studio. So also the another thing is that overall that UiPath Studio is a comprehensive platform that empowers us to design, develop, and deploy our automation solutions. That's why today it's in the RPA market, UiPath is like more popular. And the main thing is like why it is like popular, because it is business looking for the streamline their process, and it is like improve their efficiency, and that cost saving capability is there. So that why is like in the RPA market, UiPath is like more popular choice right now. And then another thing is why it is like popular, because of this thing, user friendly interface. First of things, there is like the broad application capability, and there's an activity library. The main thing is like activity capability. Inside the UiPath Studio, you can find multiple activities. And that another thing is like that custom package. So that not only the activity, if we want to do something, build something using any code, so we can also build any type of custom activity, and we can invoke with our code and project. And then the main thing is why this UAP is popular, because of the strong community and the ecosystem. So if you find anything, if you find any question, if you have any question, if you have anything, you can go to the community, you can write your question. There are a lot of developer and the expert developers that they will guide you to how to solve this issue. So that's why UiPath is very popular. So it's fine. So yeah, this is the today's contents. Okay, so basically today I will cover all these things, like what is UiPath Studio. Then I will show you the UiPath Studio overview, how it is look like from the outside and the inside. Then what is the UiPath attended bot, UiPath unattended bot, the difference between unattended and attended bot. Then I will show you what is this classic design, how it looks like, what is the UiPath modern design, and how it is also looks like, what is the difference between the classic and modern design. Then I will show you the UiPath designer panel. Then finally I'll show you that UiPath sequence flowchart and the state machine. Then finally there will be the UiPath quiz also there. So this thing, that's why I will tell you that to please be careful and this thing listen carefully and also enjoy the session. Then hopefully at the end of the session we'll answer this question and this thing and that UiPath swag. And the rest of the things I will show you all these things like UiPath community link and all these things. And the another thing is just I can share with you, this is the perfect time to do mistakes. So if you have any question like silly questions, so then also you can ask me anytime. Okay, otherwise you can chat this thing where then other people will monitor all these things, so they will also happy to answer you. And otherwise no worries, in the end also there will be a detailed Q&A. We'll be happy to answer all of your questions. Okay, so this is like UiPath Studio. So you see the inside the UiPath Studio. So from that screen, right, you can see that main component is like usability, productivity, code quality, extensibility, debugging, reusability. So why UiPath Studio is why we should use UiPath Studio? Why we use UiPath Studio? Because all the features are there inside this one studio component. Okay, one software tools inside there, all of these like components are there. So like what is collaboration? So give me this provide you brief insights about that all these features. So what is collaboration? So collaboration is like UiPath offers collaboration capabilities through its integration version control. So version control means like you know about some people know about the Git TFS, right? Git is like global information tracker, and TFS is like team foundation server. It is like version control. So how it will work? Actually, if we will integrate that UiPath Studio with this GIT or TFS, sorry, so it in allow multiple developers to work together and manage the project efficiently. Okay, so if we will this thing integrated thing, so one project with a different module, the different people this thing in the different developer will work together also. So that's why we use that thing. That's why we'll integrate that with the Git or TFS. Okay, then the main thing is that another thing is like usability. You see the usability is also there. So usability is there. The usability means that user friendly approach. If you see that UiPath Studio, it's very user friendly. So anyone who can new and we want to start that UiPath, so anyone can easily start that UiPath Studio. Okay, anyone is like to UiPath start the studio, and this thing contributes popularity. So it is very easy to start among all those technical and non-technical users. That another thing is like productivity. So UiPath is designed to enhance productivity, like automating this thing, repetitive tasks, time consuming, and it will like save time, accuracy, and also less human error reduction. Right? Why we use that automation? Because we need to save our time, we need to save our cost, and we need the data accuracy, and then finally human error reduction. Correct? So all that things is there inside the UiPath Studio. The another thing is like debugging. So it is the most important features inside that UiPath Studio. Okay, the debugging. So debugging features is a very important features. So it helps us to identify and resolve issue in their automation workflows, right? So while we're building any project, either it's a complex project or either it's a small project, and while we'll testing, sometimes we'll face some difficulties, right? Sometimes we are not able to identify the exact issue or where the issue is occurring. So for that thing, we need to debug this thing to identify the issue, and then that way we will resolve that issue. So inside the UiPath Studio, the debugging function is very good. So using that debugging, we can pinpoint our error, and all that unexpected error we can pinpoint our error, and that way we can solve all the issue. So and this thing, there is a I think different debugging session is there, so where you can learn about all these things more details. Okay, the another thing is like extensibility. Another thing is like extensibility. Extensibility is like allow users to customize and extend their capabilities, like custom activities, right? That I already mentioned that is there inside the UiPath. We can integrate with the different code. We can build our custom package also. If anyone, suppose inside the UiPath Studio some activity is not there, we can that we need for our particular project. So if anyone know that anyone know like VB or C# or Python, so they can write that code, custom code inside that studio. They can integrate with this thing, so it will be very helpful. So that's why like extensibility is also there. So this thing, as of now, any questions, any query you want to ask? So by the way, I'll not
Okay.
monitor the chat as of now. Okay, yeah, tell me.
Can you explain collaboration and extensibility again?
Hey, can you repeat again? Hello.
Can you explain collaboration and extensibility point again?
Yeah, sure. So collaboration means, so we can integrate with some different version control. So in the industry, if you can sound, there is a different version control is like that is popular. One is Git, right? Global Information Tracker, and another is like TFS, Team Foundation Server. So we can integrate UiPath Studio with all those Git TFS. So in that way, inside that integration, it will allow multiple developers, okay, to team to collaborate and building projects together. Okay, so suppose I have this thing, we integrate that thing with our inside that code with that Git, we integrate with Git and TFS, then we can all the team like work on the different module together. Okay, not a same module but different module will this thing will work together. And it will this thing, it will help us to manage our project. Okay, it will save us time, because with the reusable component we can multiple developers can work together also. So it will help our time also, it will help us to manage our project effectively. So is it clear now?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And so another question is like extensibility, correct?
Yes.
Huh. So extensibility, that this thing I mentioned, that UiPath provides various avenues of for extensibility, right? To allow users to customize and extend their capabilities. So just means inside that while we build some projects, UiPath Studio, sometimes some features will be not available. It's not like that all that activities will be there, correct? But there is different type of option will be differently there. Okay, so what should we do? Suppose I need one particular feature, but that feature is not available inside the studio. When predefined feature, if it's not available, then, and if I know that UiPath this thing, VB or C#, any of the code, right? Or if we can search any of the code, then we can write any of the code. We can build any of the custom package. Okay, and we can integrate with UiPath Studio. And you see the extensibility means the browser extension. So while we automation with the different type of application, that time we need to first interact with the different this thing, while we spying with the different type of automation, first we need to interact with the different type of application, right? Web application. So for that type of web application, we need to first need to install the browser extensions. Okay, so we have to first install the browser extension. Like for that, if we want to use Edge, then we need to Edge extension. I will show you inside the UiPath Studio how we'll need all those things. But this is like the extensibility. Okay, that if that all that features is predefined features is also not available, we can extensively build our custom activity and we can use that thing. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Okay, this is the UiPath Studio. Let me open the UiPath Studio. Okay, so this is the UiPath Studio overview. Okay, so you see the same version. I have also that community version here. So it looks like that it's a community license, correct? So we can use that community license to our practice test, okay, or tool for our learning purpose. So let me explain you one by one. So this is like the open edition. So all the task I created, all the process or all the task I created, it is just visible here. Okay. And I'll explain you one by one what is that inside that tools, templates, settings. So let me first explain one by one. So you see the first is like process. If I click here, you see here, if I click process here, I just any name, I just want to create a name, and then I can what want to save that location. I can, if I want to save it default location, they can default location. Otherwise, I can use custom location also. And you see there is a part is language. So we can select VB. So if we select VB, so inside the studio, inside that activity, we can write VB script. And if we select C#, so inside the studio, we can write that C# script. Okay. And this thing, what is this process? So process is like used to create a blank project. The project means while we're testing, right? While we create some simple process, so that time we'll create that process. The next is like library. So library is basically we used for create reusable components. Okay. So reusable components means sometimes we create a reusable components because we need to use that thing for multiple projects, right? Suppose we build some email configuration, but because that in the RPL project, email is like in the most of the project we need to use that email part, or that read data from the Excel part. So for that purpose, we need to use that library. We create some. So while you build a library, while you create a project, so that time it's saved as a new pkg files. Okay. And you can also install it in a different project through project manager. Okay. So that thing I will show you later, how you from the package manager, how you import a library. So but I think it is clear, right? So using that library, we can create reusable components.
Is library, I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
Is library similar to object in Blue Prism? You know, for Blue Prism
Yes.
layers, right? Process
Yeah,
and
correct. Yes, correct. So it is not like that totally similar. Okay, but yes, it's partially similar. So you know that inside the Blue Prism Studio, we can mainly interact with that different type of application. Correct.
Yeah.
I'll just answer this in a
Yeah,
different
sure.
way. Another.
Yeah,
Basically,
sure.
library, like in the other RPA tool which you're mentioning, right? That is pretty much defined to a single application, right? So you cannot keep all the functions maybe for 10 applications into one of the libraries in the other tool. But in UiPath, right, you can have a library dedicated for n number of applications with different activities at one place. So for the what to say, the speed at which you can scale using UiPath library is much faster, and it is a vast experience as well. So in case like, yeah, please go ahead.
Well, there are two types of objects in Blue Prism. One, as you said, it's only dedicated to application, one single application. But there are other objects like the utility objects, the inbuilt Blue Prism objects.
Yeah, so
Those can be
here,
used
right?
on multiple
Yes.
applications.
So Madhav would be just showing you in UiPath, right? So we have activities similar to them. So the out of the box features, right? Even UiPath or any software you take for that has a set of out of the box facilities to facilitate the start of a development, right? Like if we could, like the idea is that if we plan on coding it from scratch, then what's the use or point of using any software tool? The main advantage which UiPath gives you is basically you can do a faster development. So any activities or out of the box videos which you are referring, right? Those are present in UiPath as well. And the number of applications which UiPath has already created its out of the box features, right, is the highest in the industry. So whether it's an API integrated services or activities which come as out of the box, those are the highest in the industry with UiPath, and those are the most reliable as well. Now coming to like, yeah, what Madhav is trying to say, right? Like this new projects, if you could see, there are different sections like process, library, test automation, templates, and on the lower side there are more templates. So if you click on more templates, it would bombard you with a hell lot of templates, right? So the idea is that when you start an automation, right, it is for even for the students, right? Like whenever, see, automation is just like a software development only. What exactly you are doing is you are trying to mimic a human activity. Now, in order to do any automation, right, everything has to be standard as of now. So every decision point has to be defined, or an algorithm has to be in place that, okay, from this point on, if something like this happens, what is the next set of activities which I need to do? It has to be defined. It cannot be left to the cognitive ability of an RPA bot because it has zero cognitive ability as of now. If you want to imbibe them, it's a difficult, like even a more complex task in it. So when you start an automation, right, at the end, start of the automation, you would know, like you need to know what type of automation you are doing. Are you creating a one-time automation, or are you creating an automation which may have some subset of activities which are duplicate to each other? Like, for example, if I take, for example, you are logging into Google. So one use case can be logging into Google and extracting all the emails, and another use case can be logging into Google and going to Google Drive and extracting all the documents. So if you see in both these places, logging into Google is a constant or a subset in both the automations, right? So if you know that it's a common activity, you can place it as a part of a library. What advantages it gives you is, say tomorrow you want to make a change into the Google login page, or the Google login page changed altogether. So whatever or wherever you have, like whichever use case uses this Google login page, right? You would need to go and change it everywhere. But if it is a library, you can change it at one point and the change get reflects everywhere. You just need to upgrade the library. That's it. So the reason for using these templates are very use case specific. And as and when you start developing, you will get to know why and when to use it. Up to you, Madhav.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you with the explanation. So is it clear now?
Yes, so it depends on the situation that you are developing.
Yeah, yes. It's slightly different. You are correct, like that Blue Prism, as per the Blue Prism Project Studio and Object Studio. Okay, but here the library is like slightly different, but the main concept is like same. Okay,
All right.
we can
Fair
invoke.
enough.
Yeah, correct. So then test automation is nothing but like start with a blank project and this thing to create a new test project. So it is like only for the testing purpose. Okay. So then is like a template. So template is like a pre-configured project. So that is already provided by UiPath. It's a this is like we used for starting from a new automation project. So if we need, we can build custom templates also, such as like organization wide template. So that is the main thing. So I will show you also that how the template will work and how this thing. So because there is also the new from template, right? So all is like template. This is like mobile testing project. So mobile testing project is basically this is like create workflows to automate mobile web applications through Studio and mobile device manager. So usually we didn't use that thing. That another thing is like that attended automation framework. Okay, so attended automation, so from the word you can understand, right? So attended automation framework. So attended automation framework we use for only for that attended automation, because these framework to help developers quickly build high quality and user friendly attended automation, because that inside that framework the template is already built. So that's why it's helps the user or developer to build that automation attended type of automation built quickly. Okay, then another type is like background automation. So background process is like, sorry, background process is like a template. This is also a template. So that help us to run parallel one in the same bot. So using the background process, we can run a attended bot, and also together we can also, this is also capable to one foreground process. Okay, so what is foreground process? So foreground process means, so where we not interact with any of the application. So foreground process means user can work and the bot will run internally. Okay, so internally, I mean, if we use that like Excel activities, email activities, like any other type of web API activities, then what will no need to interact with the applications directly, right? What will internally work, and in the same time, a human can also work. So that is like a background process. Okay, so next is like orchestration process. Orchestration process is like we use, so as you know, the orchestration process, we need that human or human intervention, and for the long running transaction we need this thing, we need this orchestration. There we need to process lot of data, and this thing, and that for this thing we need this thing, because there we need that human intervention for that approvals, like validation we need to check. So in this situation the process execution is suspended. Okay, until the human task completes. So for that orchestration process we need that human to validate all those things. Then the another thing is like RE framework. So this is the most important part, okay, for the industry, while for that all that maximum project as we deliver, we use that RE framework. So RE framework is like very important feature inside the UiPath Studio, and it's like a very good template. So using that RE framework, developer can develop benefit from a well structured and organized framework. Okay, so because inside that framework, all that by default exception handling is there, how to add all the items to the queues, all the things are already predefined, and it helps developer to build the project at a like consistency, scalability, and also the maintainability of the automation project. So this RE framework will help developer to provide a high quality automation solutions, and also help us to error free solution. And if we use that RE framework, so after the each transaction there will already a inbuilt features is there that will help us to provide a transaction status to set. So as of now, I think it will be very difficult for you to understand everything, but yeah, slowly when you start learning, you will understand all the capability. So and many other templates is, if I click here, so there are a lot of templates are there. If you want to this thing, customize this thing. So if you have time, so free time, you can click one by one, and you can also go through all these things. Okay. So any questions? Okay.
I
Fine.
think Mother we can go.
Yeah. So fine. So this is the basic overview. Now let me click the tools. Inside the apps, you see there is a UiPath UI Explorer. Okay. So if I click that UiPath Explore, so there will a different window come. So how this UiPath UI Explore will work? So it will basically, because as we build automation, right, we'll need to interact with different type of application. So we need to spy that element, right? We need to spy the element. So using the it's a very important feature inside the UiPath Studio. So if we use inside the from that activity also you can click. So suppose you can click a activity to, if you want to click a button. Okay, so inside that activity also there is a click button, you can find click feature. But if you use that UI Explorer, and you can identify a particular by that particular selector, so here you can you can find the entire tree. So using the tree you can build your custom selector. So that will help us, help the developer to build a reusable selector, so reliable selector. Okay. So there's another component that I already described you, right? So while we start the developing, we use some different.
Show the example like for previous things.
Here.
Can you show the example of UI Explorer?
Yeah, yes, sure. I will show you. I will show you. Okay. When I will open that UiPath Studio, definitely I will show you how that UI Explorer will work. Okay. Is it
Okay.
fine?
So Priyanshu will be having a deep understanding of UI Explorer when we'll be having the UI automation. Okay. So due to we have the constraint of time, so we need to cover it, right? And in each session we'll be having deeper understanding of this means exact tool. Okay. 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 Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if time permits, I will definitely show you how this thing will work. Okay. So then UiPath extensions. So as I mentioned you, right? So when we work, so we have to use different applications. So for suppose when you use the web-based application, either we have to use Chrome or Edge like Firefox. So that is first we need to, this is like a prerequisite. When we think that we have to automate this thing using Chrome, so we need to first install that extension. So you see that Chrome and Edge is already installed in my machine, so that's why it's already installed. And other things, if we have requirement, we need to install this thing. So based on this thing, we need to require all these things. Okay. So that is another thing, that plugins that I described you, right? So we can integrate with the Git, SVN, TFS, correct? So this is this thing. Template is I already described you. Then settings. So this is the like the default settings when you open this thing inside that UiPath Studio. When you can create a project or process inside that, also you can custom all these things. But this is like default settings. If you not inside that, if you not set up anything, then it will use that default settings. So yeah, that's it. So any questions regarding that overview? Otherwise, I will go to the next slide because of the time, limited time. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing is UiPath attended bot. Okay. So what is UiPath attended bot, or why we should use that UiPath attended bot? Why we need this thing? Okay. So UiPath attended bot is like a component inside that we can use that for that human interaction. Okay, you see that the attended bot is like help individual user with small and repetitive tasks. So when we will use attended bot, so that time we need user also in front of the machine. So I'll give you an example. So sometime you notice that sometime when we sometimes few of the application, when we put that username and password, after that some like there is some OTP verification is there, right? And then OTP is like you get that OTP in your mobile, then you have to put that OTP, then your application is like open, right? I will just provide you one simple example. But the same thing, the attended automation, when we need to that bot should be triggered by the user only. User should be available, and all that validation and all that important things will be, all the data should be provided by the user, and then the bot will work. So basically it will assist by human operators, and it will triggers by manually, and it's running locally. That bot will run in the locally. Okay. This thing attended roles are this thing well suited for this human intervention and collaborations are essential, that I already mentioned to you. And that bot actually contribute to increased productivity, and at the same time the accuracy, data accuracy, and in the efficiency throughout the industry and business domain. So that is the main perspective of that UiPath attended robot. Okay. So any questions that what is UiPath attended robot? Any query? Any doubt? Okay. If it is clear, then I will go to the next slide. So it's like that if you know that attended automation, it is like totally opposite, right? The unattended automation. So unattended automation means there is no need to human intervention. It will run without human intervention, and it will run. It's like 24/7. For a human, it is not possible to run the 24/7, right? To trigger a bot, to monitor a bot. But why it is unattended robots? Because without human intervention, that we will trigger the bot, and that bot will run in a particular time based on that trigger, and it will run as of the requirement, and it will capable to run 24/7. So what is this thing? We don't need that any type of human intervention. It will totally run and triggered by remotely. And it will be very helpful for big and complex automation, where the heavy data will be there. So this type of unattended automation is like very helpful. So it is mainly useful for that high volume, and that here that rule based task will be there, and there will be no human intervention required. It enables like scalability, efficiency, and continuous automations continuing to improve productivity. It will reduce the errors and increase operational benefits, like it will save the business costs also. Any question regarding that UiPath attended bot and unattended bot?
Can you give any example of unattended robot?
Yeah, sure. So suppose I just provide one small example. Suppose you have a database, okay? Either database, either Excel file, and inside that database or Excel file, you have like thousands of records is there, right? So suppose thousands of record is there, and you have need to add all those details inside any application, web-based application. Okay, suppose you have a student's data is there inside a Excel file, and you need to upload all that data inside a web application. You need to store all the information inside any web application. So for that purpose, for a human, it will be very difficult, right? It will not only that difficult, it will be that because as a human, sometimes we can do mistake, and it will be a time taking, right? But if we read that bot, if we using that process to automate using bot, so bot will capable to read that entire Excel file, and bot will process one by one data and say open that application, particular application, store that data. So I just provide you 20,000 data. It will be work, but if it will be more than 1,000 data, then also bot will capable to handle all these things. Even if there are any particular validation also there, then also bot will, because as I mentioned, right, it is like a rule based. So bot will also handle to check all this validation, and bot will based on this thing, bot will add all those data. So there no human intervention is needed, right? There
Yes.
should be one input file will be there. So bot will read that input file, bot fetch all the data, bot will one by one, bot will push all the data inside the application. And when it will completed all the data, bot will finally send the status report via email. So, and you know, the inside there are, when we use the unattended robot, that is a UiPath orchestrator is there. Okay, it's a separate thing, you will know later. So you from the UiPath orchestrator, we can schedule the bot. So no need a human to trigger the bot also. We can schedule. If we want that today 9 p.m. my bot will run. So we can based on that thing, we will trigger our bot. So bot will automatically trigger, automatically read the data and process all the transaction item one by one, and also finally send that status reports to the concert email ID that will need to provide. So here no need any human intervention. The bot will capable to complete run end-to-end process. Is it clear?
Yes, yes, yes. I got it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So this thing is like, it is very normal. As I mentioned, attended and unattended, I already described. So it is very clear. I think it will be. So any of you take this thing. Any of you can explain what is the 1-2 difference between attended robot and unattended robot? Anyone?
Anyone can
Uh,
take this up proactively.
Yeah,
No
sure.
issues here.
Yes, an unattended bot is mainly focused to be in charge of activities that do not require any human interaction, right? And attended is the one that can be triggered by a human on his
Correct.
own device, on his own VM. He can start this type of processes, attended processes, when he requires, when this person requires.
Correct. So yeah, I will explain it again. So as I already mentioned you, right, attended bot we should run is always that user's machine. Either it is user's desktop or user's machine. But unattended bot will run it standalone PC. Okay, we need to go, or we need to open that particular desktop, right? We'll trigger through orchestrator, and it will run in standalone machine. No need to monitor any human, and no need. It will run independently, and it will finally complete the process, and it will state status report based on the requirement. So here no need to any human thing. The second one is triggered by user activity. Okay, so for the attended robot, human will be need to trigger the bot, then only bot will start. But for that unattended bot, it will be triggered. It will be scheduled by the orchestrator, right? As I mentioned, it will be scheduled by the monster using the inside the orchestrator will schedule that thing. So based on the scheduler, the bot will automatically trigger. No need to human thing. So attended means anyway we need a human, and unattended means that no human intervention is needed. And that is another important thing is like attended automation. So this thing I will give you one example why we need that attended automation. So for secure some client, like for while we working for some banking client, so that time they are not agree with to save the credential. Okay, because when we work the banking client, they will not agree to save any type of credential because it's for the security purpose. So for that purpose, they always wanted to sometimes they always wanted to use attended robot. So because so when we use the attended robot, that when the bot will trigger, so one type of form is there instead feature. Okay, so we can provide that form and use that the form when the user will trigger the bot, that form will pop-up will come, the form that pop up, and inside that form that user should provide that username and password, and then bot will read that particular username and password and it put it to particular application. So in that way there is no need to save the credential, and the credential is like fully secured. The UiPath is just read that credential and it's right, that's it. It will not save the credential anywhere, either it is orchestrator, either it's anywhere. So that is another capability of the attended robot. Okay, so any questions? Attended robot or unattended robot, any query, any questions? Please do let me know if you have any questions.
No, Madhav, I think we can go ahead.
Yeah, we can
Even
continue
that
then.
we are, yeah.
Yeah. So next is like UiPath classic design. Okay. So I will show you, okay, that the thing UiPath classic design and UiPath modern design. So I think instead of the theoretical discussion, let me open that UiPath Studio. It will be helpful for you. So here I think all of you see that use modern for new projects, right? So as this feature is already provided by the, because initially when that UiPath launched, that time that feature was not, that time only the classic was means the default one was there. Now there is another feature is there, like use modern for new project. Okay, new modern means the new modern design. Okay, that design will this thing I'll show you how that design will work. So you see it's already enabled, right? Use modern for new projects. So now let me create a process. It's just creating all the dependencies. So you all are see my screen, right? Yeah. So just notice, okay. So you already know this thing that modern design is already enabled for that particular process, right? Because it was the default. So while like creating this project, it's already modern design is enabled, and you just noticed that feature. If we will create it via modern design, that app and recorder, computer visions, then table extraction, all these are showing, right? UI Explorer. So now if I go here, sorry, if I go to the project and if I disable this thing, modern design, to back to the classic design, now see the difference, right? So you see now it's like single, this app record, basic recorder, web recorder, native, all the feature is different. The screen scraping, right? So let me this thing open this thing, then you will see this thing. So mainly when in the class inside the classic design, you see this thing, right? Recording, screen scraping, data scraping, user event, all those things. But while I change it to this thing, modern design, it will like show that thing. Means app recorder. It will collaborate in the as a new feature. It will collaborate all these things together. Okay. Then computer vision, because in the previous feature, the classic design, all those is like individually. But here in the new version, newer modern design, it will collaborate. So that's why it looks like. So you see that is previous version is shows the screen scraping, data scraping. Now it is like together table extraction. Okay. So this is like basic difference like in that classic design and modern design. If we'll go to the studio again, and now I convert to this thing. So let me back to this here again.
I have one question, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
So it's just the appearance, right? The functionality is the same.
Yes, everything is like I will show you what is the difference. Actually, inside that modern design, okay, inside that features, they will add some comprehensive things. That's it. But that feature wise, it is like same. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Inside their modern design, they add some ribbon based interface. Okay. And this they integrate some integrated activity editor should be there. Okay. The rest of the thing is fine. I'll show you. I'll show you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You see now I again change to modern. Correct. So that's why it is now visible here. So now if I go to the activities and I can search UI automation. Okay, you see that UI automation, this one. Now if I click here and if I click classic, so you see now this is like all the modern. Okay, and this is like classic. If I click here and click that classic, it will visible everything. Main thing is like same. Okay, so it is not any hard and fast rules are there. That there is no rules and for hard and fast rules are then there that we should use that modern or classic. We can use anything. Okay, but this is the like new feature. There it's a, like an integrated feature inside that integrated feature. So let me open one click activity. Yeah, so you see this is like modern. Okay, so you see how it will look like. So there are a lot of things is like integrated inside that modern feature. Okay, and that modern feature only work if you see inside a application browser. Okay, so now let me open. I think I already clicked it that classic. That's why I not open to this thing together. That classic version. Yeah, so let me switch back to the classic, but I think you can see this thing, right? So if we use that in the modern features, so we have to use any application or browser, then only it will work. Okay, otherwise it will throw exception. We have to use that use application or browser, and inside that container we have to use this thing. Okay, instead based on this thing we need to click, and here you see that it's the extension features they added. So means inside the same click activity we can select everything. Okay, now for your understanding, let me quickly open that classic also. Now you see the difference, right? This is the modern feature. You see how it is looks like, and it is like older feature, like classic. Okay, so if we use that classic version of click, there is no need to provide any container. Okay, it will work normally also. But if we use that modern feature, that click, we should use that container. Okay, so this is like a main different to this architecture, because it's like that new feature, new modern design is like integrated thing, and that old, this one is the classic is older, but there is no hard and fast rules is there. As with like familiar, we can use any of this thing. Okay, any questions?
Yes, I have one doubt actually.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, is this classic and modern design is depends on last means last session you told you the evolution of RPA, that RPA 1.0, RPA 2.0. Is it depending on that this version was design version was differentiated from each other?
Yes, I think that after 20 this thing, and the current version is like 23 version is rightly right UiPath. I think after 22 version, the UiPath launched this modern design. Okay, initially when all the previous version, only the classic version was there, but initially they integrated that, they are also updated their features, right? So if you notice that that classic is like very simple, right? Correct, that click is
Yes,
like
yes.
very simple. So this is thing, but both is like there. It is not that they introduced that modern feature, so that was the old one, old click was not worked, or it will not work. This is not like that way only. Okay, if
Okay.
you want, if you are familiar with that old click only, so you should use that thing also. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So any questions regarding this thing? Because we are almost on time, so I have few things I have to cover. So if I have no questions, then I'll show this thing. You have a designer panel. Okay, so let me quickly now show you that UiPath designer panel, how it will look like. Checking your screen. So if I click here new, so in the new, from the new, we can click that sequence, flowchart, state machine, form. Okay, and the different features. So based on the requirement, we can create all these things. Okay, so in the next session, maybe I think maybe that is a separate session is already there, the type of workflows that they will provide you in the details. Okay, now I can show you that how that sequence is looks like, how that flowchart is looks like, how that state machine is like, and that form I mentioned you, right? For that attended automation or automation, we need to provide a form to provide that credential. So using that UiPath form, this is also a new feature. Okay, so using the UiPath form, we can create that type of feature, and we can handle that type of part also. So let me quickly show how it's the sequences looks like. So what is sequence? So sequence is like a fundamental building block to create automation workflows. Okay, so it is like a simple actually container. Okay, this is like linear flow of actions where we can this thing flow, we can add multiple activity one by one, and we can only do this up and down. Okay, it is like up and down. We can't add like flow switch like there, we can't add any branch. Okay, inside the sequence we can't do, or we can't add any type of branch. So suppose inside the sequence, if I have to add something like that, if we want to add, but there is another thing is that inside the sequence, if we want, based on our, we can able to add multiple sequence also. Okay, then if we need to add assign, click, there is a variables, and all this session is there. So they will actually in detail they will explain you what it is. But for now, just know what is sequence. So inside the sequence, you see, I can either up and down, right? The activity is like so is sequentially, it is either up or either down. We can't do it like right side or left side, correct? Like branching we can do. So this is the like sequence. So let me now show you how the flowchart will look like, and what is the difference between sequence and flowchart. Now let me open this flowchart. So you see, just a second. Wait. Possible. Yeah. Now you see the how the sequence looks like, how the flowchart looks like. So inside the flowchart, we can add multiple flow decision. Okay. So it is like that flowchart will help us to create like a complex scenario where we need to provide like decision making, we need to add multiple paths. Okay, so that type of approach we can use that flowchart. It is like we can use as a branch also, because you see we can add multiple flow decision here, right? As of the thing we can know for multiple flow decision, flow switch, all that thing we can add here. So suppose that if it is like, if it is true, then we have to go that part. If it is false, if it is that, go to the another path. So inside the sequence we can't do that type of things. We can use if, but we can't use that flowchart that way only. So that is the basic difference of sequence and flowchart. Sequence is only we can sequentially up and down this thing, but inside the flowchart, like we can branch and we can use this will be helpful to for multiple paths where the decision making is there. For that type of things, it's well suited, and it will be help us to this thing, to complex decision making things, and it will have the different path of execution. This flowchart will help us. So any questions or any doubt? This what is sequence and what is flowchart and how it will work? Is it clear for everyone?
Can you invoke one sequence inside a flowchart?
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
That we can do. Okay. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah. So inside inside a flowchart, we can invoke sequence. Even inside a sequence, we can, as per required, we can use multiple sequence. Okay.
And how about importing a flowchart inside a sequence? Is it possible?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now delete this thing. Now this thing. Designer flowchart. Okay, let me quickly show you all these things. Time. So you see that manage package, right? Initially I told you I quickly show you. So if this thing, if we build some custom activity or something, right, that is not featured and we need to this thing. So using that manage package activities, okay, and also this thing, all the features, okay, that some predefined is like that Excel and all these things is already installed. Okay, it is already Excel and email, all this thing is already installed. But if we want to this thing PDF, okay, so if we want to use some PDF libraries, PDF activities, then we need to install it from here only. Okay, so because as I created new, so PDF is like not there, right? So if I click that all packages and if I search with that PDF, you see that UiPath.pdf.activities is there, right? So it is like UiPath activity. Okay, it's a UiPath activity, so we should use it. There you can find some multiple activities. That also is like a third party. Someone created that activities and posted, upload this here. But this is like, if you see that UiPath.pdf activities, it is like a UiPath internal activity. So we should click that here. Then we need to click install and we need to click save. It will just restoring the dependency. One is done. Okay, all the PDFs related activity will visible here. Okay, so now if I type here PDF, you see that all the PDF related activity will visible, correct? So that is the manage package. So you need to, if that feature is already not available here, we need to go to the activity package and we need to search with particular contents and we need to install this thing. That's it. So there is a recording capability is also there. Screen scraping is screen scraping. This thing is there. So scraping means we need to extract data, right? We need to extract data. So suppose inside any of the application like table format data is there, we need to scrape that data. Like structured data, we need to use screen scraping or data scraping. Okay. Then UI Explorer is also there. So as Apurvo is already mentioned, okay, that thing is there as a UI automation session is already there. So that's why maybe I will not show you this thing in details. It will take time. But UI Explorer is mainly help us to identify this thing. Any question? Any doubt? Hello. Okay. So I just show you this thing. Inside the UI Explorer, you can see the different mode is also there. Default mode, and there is active accessibility mode, and there is UI automation mode. So if we want to switch that mode, then we can switch that mode, and using that way we can spy that our element. Okay, and while we spy that element, in the left hand side all the trees will be visible. So based on that our requirement, we need to select and deselect these things, and we need to build the reliable selector, and we need to use that thing. Then remove unused. So you see if you click there, so when that thing is there, it's like it will be very helpful for that complete project. When we create a complete project, so that time we will create, we need to create multiple arguments, variable, unnecessary things we created, right? So if we need to remove that unused these things, we need to click that arguments and this thing, and then from that thing we will to delete this thing. So then export to Excel is like that. When we use that log, we need to export this thing in Excel, and that final thing is like publish. If we want to, this is like I created normal things, right? It's a lot of error is there, so that's why it's I'm unable to publish that code. But while we created this thing complete project, so we need to upload this, we need to publish that code. So after publish this code, either we need to directly upload it inside the UiPath orchestrator, otherwise we can download it in our local also, and then we can manually also upload the new version of code to the orchestrator to run the bot. If I click the debugging, so debugging, there is a separate session is already there for debugging. I just show you. So in the debugging, when we debugging, we use the debug file, okay, to run the bot. So there is like separate feature is there, right? Step into, step over, step out. So step into means if I insert the main sequence, there are a lot of things is there, right? So if I use step into, it will execute one by one, okay? It will execute one by one. So but step over, so step over is inside the sequence, like 4 actions is there, right? It's showing. So inside the sequence, like some activities is there. So if I use that step over, then it will go to the inside that particular sequence, it will complete all the tasks, and then it will go here, it will come here and it will stop. And if we use step out, then inside that main sequence, it will totally run that entire main sequence, and then it will stop. So it will the basically difference in the step into, step over, step out. Okay, I will currently, as per the time is already over, so I will not show you that all the things in practically. I think different debugging session will be there. So there they will show you, okay, details. So that will, so you know that some of you already know that how the breakpoint will work, correct? So I will debugging, we need to put a particular but we need to, suppose we need to click and we need to use a debugging, because we need to check that for that particular activity what the issue is come, or after the debugging it, that bot will pause here, and after that we will decide we should go to the step by step, or either it should the step over. So based on the debugging, we will decide this thing. Slow steps means we can select that thing. Based on this selector, you see that it is 2x, it is basically this. So while it is increasing it, the bot will run it faster or slow, it will decide from here. Then that execute highlight, if we enable that highlight animals, and when bot will work, so that time it is highlighted. That suppose we click a particular button, so before that click, bot will highlight that particular button, then only it will click. Okay, and there are some advanced features is also there, like PIP mode and everything. So that is, I think, not required for you now. You will know this later. So it's like a family basic session. So I think that's it. So yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions regarding that all the topic that I covered, then please ask me, or otherwise this thing we'll go for that quiz. because I know it's already late. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Otherwise, this thing will go to the quiz section.
And one more thing before we move on to quiz, guys, don't worry if you're not understanding like 100% of the things. We have
Correct.
like it's just the second session. We'll be repeating things in next sessions as well. So do not worry at all. Anytime, any question you have, feel free to ask. Even if you are asking question related to the very basic thing in the fourth session, we'll be very happy to answer, because our basic motive behind all these sessions is to help you get familiar with UiPath. We are not trying to make you an expert here. We are just trying to show
Correct.
you the power of UiPath and what you can do with it. And once we are able to answer all your like once we are able to enable you to start thinking in terms of automation, I guess you'll automatically feel interested in it. And frankly speaking, guys, we all here are working since multiple years now into this UiPath, and these things are very, very, very interesting. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, and no worries if you can't ask it today. We are again, will be again here tomorrow same time, so feel free to ask tomorrow as well. No worries. I think we can start with the quiz now.
Yeah, thank you, Pradum. Yeah. So yes, as you mentioned, right? So inside this, you see there are a lot of features and these things. So in a one particular session, it will be not possible to complete everything and to deep dive everything. So slowly, once you exploring, once you have enthusiasm and once you are exploring all of these things, so you know these things, all these things there, and there will be some another 10 sessions. It's like a second session today. So there will be another 10 sessions there. So please join all of the sessions. Then after all thing, when you completed the 12 session, you have some better understanding about the UiPath, the capability and all these things. So that time you will gain some interest and you will start to build your own bot. So yeah. Hey, hi, Ved, are you there? Or Apurvo, anyone, are you there?
Yeah, so
I'll
Pradum
be
will be
taking
there.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So can you please paste it in the chat, that code?
sure.
Please paste the link as well, Pradman.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, menti.com, then they need to go with the code.
Let me, yeah.
1 second. I have it. I'll just paste it now.
Yeah, sure. Madhav, we have it handy, so you may go with your quiz
Yes,
slides.
yes.
Yeah.
And actually, I am not able to. Let me first switch. These links you need.
I have pasted the link in the chat.
Oh, you already pasted.
Yeah.
So people, please go to this link and enter the code, or you could have just scanned the code. Just give a hands up if you are in. We can see 14, 15 players are ready.
15,
Others,
yeah.
please join quickly.
Guys who are all there in the last session, so they know it very well, and who are joining new for this session, so just one thing is that, so please be correct on your answer, and please answer it as quickly as you can, so that you can be on the topper side of this quiz, and the person who will be having the most points, so he or she will be having UiPath swag. So uh, we don't have anything in our hand, so Mentimeter will be deciding those things.
Yeah, come on guys, be ready for the prizes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, giving 1 more minute. 30 players are in. 31. Come on, guys. Last 1 minute. Join quickly. We'll be starting in 20 seconds now.
Guys who are left, if you have any doubt or if you're facing any technical issues, please let us know. We are having 46 members as of now, but 32 has already joined.
Okay, I think we should start now.
We start.
Yeah, I think yes, we are running late.
Yeah.
Others might also need to leave.
So let's start. Okay.
Okay, Apurva.
Yeah, it's fine.
Or should we start?
Yeah,
Yes,
please go ahead.
let's start. Okay, guys, come on, answer quickly. I guess the name itself is self-explanatory. Wow, everyone has voted. Quick. सब पढ़ाकू बच्चे हैं भाई.
That's the good part, because we have decided these things yesterday's session as well, and we have
Correct.
discussed these things today as well, and you all have understood it very correct. So congrats. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for understanding the session very well.
Perfect.
Good. Next question, please.
Yeah. For the leaderboard.
Okay, let's have a look. So just a reminder to you guys, it's not only about answering correctly, it's also about answering quickly.
Correct.
And guys, whoever is joining, please do not go with some funky names like the
And it
first
will
one
be
we are getting.
difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we can't send the prize then to you, though you are winning, because we don't know who are you actually.
Please
Yes.
use your correct names
Correct
next
name.
time, guys.
Yeah. We
Otherwise,
will
I'll
keep
keep
to
your prize, man.
identify.
Okay, next
Yeah. Yeah.
question,
Go
please.
to the next question.
Because
Yeah.
when I just enter my name, I save this. So
Okay,
that's
is it you,
Okay.
Wolf Master?
Old Mister, you.
yeah, that is Divakar.
Congrats, man.
The last
Congrats,
day
man.
I have lots of person asked.
Oh,
No
okay.
Okay.
worries.
Okay.
Let's start. Okay,
Yeah.
second question. Be ready.
Yeah.
Enter.
What happened?
No, you needed to enter. So go back and press enter.
Go back.
Oh, okay.
Press
Okay.
back button.
And now
Press
enter.
enter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Read the question again. You'll get the answer.
Yeah. Just read the question carefully.
Automation triggered by event or scheduled trigger. What is it? Ah, we got you.
Yeah. It is like
Okay.
slightly tricky questions, but the answer is there already inside the question itself.
See, the main question here is which type of automation is running at scheduled time. Okay, so the answer is unattended automation, and the attended ones are have a property which will be run by user, right? Attended means you are attending to that robot, right? So when you are attending to that robot, you are manually running it depending upon when you need it, right? But unattended means no one is attending to it. That means it will be running at some scheduled time, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's move
Yeah. Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. No, the leaderboard. Now it's Nilesh. Okay, good.
Congrats, Nilesh. Let's see who goes to the top now. Press enter.
Okay.
Okay, third question.
Just read the question carefully, then you will easily the answer.
Okay,
It's a 50-50.
so for the people who
Oh,
can you remove that from the screen, please? Yeah, for the people who answered A
yeah, yeah.
through a web-based interface. Okay, so basically, first of all, it is possible to run a robot through a web-based interface. Okay, but the way of running through a web-based interface is generally a unattended bot. If we are running through a web-based interface, it is a unattended robot. Okay, for attended robot, it is just like you are attending to it, so you just directly click on the run button in the user's desktop. So the correct will be answer C. Okay,
Yeah.
next question, please. I guess this is the fourth one, right?
Fourth one, last one. Yeah.
Okay,
So check the
so
leaderboard.
who's on the top? Shafiqur, I guess.
No, no. Oh, yes,
Yes.
Sophie. Okay,
Okay,
just be ready for the next question and the final question.
final question, guys, come on. तुक्का मत मारना, guys.
I think it will be slightly difficult for them,
Yes.
but 11 people are there who answered correctly.
Okay, so maximum people actually answered it wrong, and no worries, guys.
Yeah.
Actually, even I think this question was hard. Raise hands if you think this question was hard.
Yes.
We'll keep the question level bit lower next time. Don't worry. See, I
Yes.
got
This
few
question.
raised hands, man. Please give easier questions.
This question was
Okay.
little tricky. Yeah.
Okay, so
For them.
I'll explain it to you guys. So how are attended and attended unattended bot licensed in UiPath? Okay, so it's about licensing basically. Okay, so attended bots I'll read the incorrect option first, which you guys chose, maximum of you. So both attended and unattended bots are included in UiPath Studio license. Okay, this is option C, which you guys chose, while the option 1 says attended bots are licensed per user while unattended bots are licensed per machine. Okay, so here obviously the answer 1 is correct, but why answer C is wrong, I'll tell you. Both it's showing telling you both attended and unattended bots are included in UiPath Studio license. So whenever we are talking about Studio, okay, so in general the licensing is not attached to Studio. Okay, the license of Studio is separate, the license of attended bot is separate, while the license of unattended bot also is separate. Okay, so the licensing is like this for all the separate components of UiPath software. You have a separate license. So when option C says that both unattended and attended bots are included in UiPath Studio license, that is wrong. Okay, the licenses are not combined. This is the basic rule which you need to remember when it comes to UiPath licensing. All UiPath softwares license are separately sold. Okay, the studio is separate, orchestrator is separate, the unattended bot is separate, and attended bot is separate for now. And there are other tools as well for which again you have separate licenses. Okay, depending upon how much you require it, your company or your organization or you will only buy those specific number of units. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So if you remember guys, so yesterday we were talking about software as a service, right? So Pradum is just talking about those model, right? If you want particular just one package or one product, you just need to pay for that one and you will be having that. So in that model, so all the sessions what we are having in this 12 sessions series, so each session will be interlinked. So if you stay back till the last session, so I can definitely guarantee you you'll be learning something. As we have already mentioned that we are not aiming you to make an expert, but you will be learning something what will help you in the later phase of your journey.
Any questions? Divakar, you have a question?
Yeah, I just have a sound Kumar.
Yeah, please.
I am joining today late. So is that any recorded class?
Yes. So for others who also have similar question, I'll like to repeat it again. All the sessions are getting recorded, and yes, for yesterday's session and today's session as well, you will get the recording and slides both. Where you will get it? In the UiPath community page itself, where you guys registered for it. So so you will get the recording. So let's say for yesterday's session, so when you click on yesterday's session link and go to down, go towards the down, okay, in that page you will see the recording. Most probably by tomorrow morning it should be available, I guess, right,
Uh,
Apurva?
Yeah, by tomorrow morning we'll be having the recordings of both the sessions. You just need to go inside means on that event page and you'll be finding that. Correct.
And Apurva, you tell me last day that every day need to register, but
Yeah.
when I search, I didn't get any register link. So I open yesterday link also.
For registration?
Yeah, for registration.
For
I didn't.
registration, yesterday's link will not be there. So for every day, let's suppose you will be having a session tomorrow only, right? So on tomorrow, we will be closing the registration around 7:30. So 7:30 is the cutoff. After that, you will not be finding the registration link for that particular event.
7:30 p.m. or a.m.
7:30 p.m.
Okay.
30
For
minutes back.
tomorrow. Okay. 30 minutes back, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
And can we see
Thank
the leaderboard of the last question, please?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Many
yes.
people are
Sure.
excited to see that.
It is the final screen. That's why I'm just waiting.
Vijay Kumar. Vijay Kumar.
Yeah, Kumar is today's winner.
Come
Okay,
on, Vijay Kumar,
Vijay
come
Kumar, so
on,
you can just take a
please.
screenshot of this page and you can just share with means on your social media, and please just put your mail ID in the chat box so that we can send the voucher. Once this session series will be over, we'll be sending a UiPath swag voucher to you.
And please come on video as well if possible. And for the guys who couldn't win today, don't worry, we have 10 more sessions remaining and obviously many quizzes. And apart from the and don't worry, like when I have a session, I'll give some extra prizes.
Hey, Apurva, this thing you took screenshot? Should I?
No, I have taken the screenshot. So Vijay Kumar, please share your mail ID.
Sure, yeah, thanks.
Okay. Let me stop share. Okay.
Ocean.
And congratulations again, Vijay, for winning today's quiz.
Yeah.
Well done. I know you
Thanks,
had
Pradeep.
answered one question. Like, are you sure you knew answer to all 4 questions और एक तुक्का मारा था? सही सही बताना.
That question, yeah, I just give the oil guess.
Okay, no problem. Excused.
Yeah.
Okay then, Apurva, have we taken the screenshots for today?
Yeah, we have taken the screenshot. I am capturing the mail as well.
Mm-hmm. And okay then, guys. So
Yeah,
it was nice meeting you guys again for the second day, and hope to connect with you tomorrow as well. Feel free to ask us questions. And yes, one more very important thing. Apurva has dropped the link to the WhatsApp chat group as well. Feel free to join it and ask questions there as well, if possible.
And guys, one more thing. So you people are very much interested on UiPath. I can just talk on. So the thing is, you are there from the very beginning level, and I can assure you that you will be having more interactive sessions in the later phase. So we'll are having 10 more sessions. So join every day session, and after that you will be becoming a basic level of developer. So congrats on your journey.
Dave, you have any question?
Yeah. Can you share any link of where we can integrate our GitHub with UiPath account?
Sure, I'll do that. Give me 1 minute.
Any YouTube link which will help?
In fact, what I'll suggest you is, do you know about UiPath Academy? And this is a suggestion to all of the guys. Do you
Yes,
guys
yes.
know about UiPath Academy? So just go ahead to UiPath Academy, and there you just search for you will find a course called RPA Developer Foundation.
I
Okay.
am currently on that one.
Yes. So in that itself, you should be getting a session. There should be a module for GitHub integration, or the module name should be something like this versioning with UiPath Studio. Are you able to see any of that? Just let me see on my screen as well. So inside UiPath Academy, you should be able to see that module
Version
related.
VCS integration in Studio.
Exactly. So just go through this video, this module, and you will have the answer to your question in detail.
Okay. Thank you.
And others as well. UiPath Academy is your buddy. Any question, whatever we are teaching, it's also there in the UiPath Academy page. Okay, with many more details. So feel free to go to uipath.academy.com and start the RPA developer module, RPA developer course. Everything is free in UiPath Academy. I'll repeat, everything in UiPath Academy is free. Just go there, start your journey, start learning, and you will find it very easy. Try to follow along, and we are almost following the same path as what you will learn in UiPath Academy. Apurva has pasted the link as well, academy.uipath.com. Fine then. I guess it's a close for today. Have a good night, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Can you share the recording link?
You will get it by tomorrow morning, Sindhu, in the community page itself, the place where you registered it. You'll be able to see the video on the web page itself.
Sure, thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Pradeep, can you share your
LinkedIn profile. Okay, just give me a minute. I don't have it handy yet. Let me open my LinkedIn and copy it. I'm pasting it. Yeah. I hope this link leads you to my profile. Anything else, guys?
Hello.
Okay. Yes.
No, thank you.
Actually, I have one doubt.
Please tell me.
While installing UiPath by mistake, I have done Studio X. So can I continue with that in whole session, or I have to convert it into Studio?
So like I said in beginning, we will be working with Studio profile because this is what developers should be focusing at. Studio X profile is just for business users and it has limitations. Okay. So in order to switch to this Studio profile, what you can do is just go to UiPath, click on home button on top, just follow along and give yes if you are there. Is it open for you? Home button, UiPath Studio.
Wait, sir, I'm opening on my laptop.
Okay. Maybe I'm sharing my screen as well.
Yes, sir, I have visited to UiPath official website, sir.
Oh no, I'm talking about UiPath Studio. Is the studio open for you?
Wait, sir, opening, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it is open now.
Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so on your studio, you should be seeing these options on the left. You click on, I think, settings. You click on settings and then license and profile. And are you able to see this change profile option?
Yes, sir.
Okay, click there and you should be able to reselect studio. Let me know if you're done.
Yes, sir, it is done. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. Fine then, Apurva, let's close the call.
Yeah, sure. Thanks everyone. We will meet tomorrow as well. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.